Can't do stickers.
Oh yeah, we have to do our...
Okay guys, on tonight's show, Matt's away visiting his parents in the only part of the world that doesn't seem to have any workable internet. So myself and Shelley are filling his shoes and, of course, his wine glass tonight as we talk cruising with you all. We bring you a photo of the week. Chris, the Flying Scotsman, is going to give us a Christmas look behind the scenes on the ship. Shelley, she's going to be covering 5 common mistakes that newbie cruisers make. I've got a funny and sad look at pier runners. And of course, we're going to look forward to the 2018 cruises. So stick with us because you're watching CruiseWeekTV Live, Bird Edition. This show is brought to you by VMix and Good Memories Travel. So, hey everybody, welcome to the show. It's that time between Christmas and New Year's that everybody is just getting over Christmas, which I hope you had a great one. And you're looking forward to packing the little kids back off to school, getting back to work. Like I said, Matt's away this week. He's spending time with his parents on their peanut farm, and he's researching new ways to make cashew wine, of course. We don't have a guest this week, sadly, because everybody is off for Christmas. We want to involve you guys more. So I want to know from you in the comments below what you want to see different in the cruising scene in 2018. Do you want to see bigger ships, longer or shorter trips, cheaper prices, or just like more ships to choose from in general? So what do you want to see? Post your comments below and we can get a dialogue going about that. And while we're doing that, let's take a look at our photo of the week. So we asked the Carnival Cruisers Past, Present, and Future group to send us a photo of themselves with Santa on their ship. So it was pretty specific, I know, but whatever. Anyway, we're actually surprised with the number of photos we received. Now, as usual, we looked over them and picked the best one. Now, this one is sent in by Ginny Lynn, and it features a family with the Grinch. Well, I mean, I guess it's not Santa, but it is pretty close. I mean, it was really good. It was a toss-up between this one and one with Santa. I went with this because I really liked it. There was actually quite a lot of pictures of people with the Grinch on the ships there. So don't forget, every week we would choose a new Facebook group and post in there asking for a specific photo. So if you see that, post under there, and you could be featured on the show. And, of course, I want to say a big thank you to our sponsor of the show, who's been a sponsor for most of the year. That's, of course, Debbie and Good Memories Travel. Now, they're a family travel agency that deals with all aspects of cruising. Now, they loved our show so much, they actually came forward in the early weeks and offered to sponsor us, and we're so grateful for that. Debbie and her team at Good Memories Travel are part of the Cruise Planners Network. So what that means is you can actually, they give personal, small family service, but they still have access to the best tools that the big guys use. Now, since you all love our show and you've been supporting it for the year, we ask when you next book your next cruise, please check them out. Check out Good Memories Travel. It not only helps us, but it lets them know that you support them and our show. Now, don't forget, as a travel agent, they offer cashback benefits and great cruise packages and prices. Of course, the prices, the base price at least, is exactly the same as what you would get booking the cruise line direct. But you have that extra person working for you and not working for the cruise line. All the quotes are free, so you don't lose anything by checking out the price and the service. So make sure you check out Good Memories Travel and Debbie for your next cruise. She can be reached at 321-338-2953. Of course, through their website at Good Memories Travel. And I thank them so much for their support of CruiseWeekTV this year. So, Shelley's been locked in the kitchen all Christmas, cooking and wine tasting. Well, mostly wine tasting, as well as playing grandma with her son's new birthday, which had their first Christmas. But we managed to lure her away from the booty knitting and the Christmas unwrapping to join us and give us some advice that 5 newbie cruisers do wrong. Hey, Shelley, how's it going, girl?
Hey, how's it going? First of all, it's more than 5. And second of all, I don't knit ever. I don't even know the first thing about knitting.
Really?
Unless it's a stiletto knit,
But
we make
aren't
a
you like a
little
grandma?
sparkly.
Aren't you like a grandma?
I
Isn't that
am
like
a grandma, but I'm
package?
Lolly. I'm not grandma. I'm Lolly. I'm Lolly.
Oh.
And my husband's Pop. Get it? Lollipop.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Oh, isn't that sweet and cute? I'm not ready to be a grandma yet, but I can be a Lolly.
Okay.
But no, I don't know how to knit. I don't know how to knit. I guess I should take that up if I'm going to be a proper grandmother.
Exactly.
Do I look like a grandmother? I don't think I do.
Can I plead the fifth on that?
I think that's all we need to know. I think that's all we need to know. I do want to say that I did show some restraint this year. She's only just barely 5 months old, and it was really hard for me not to go to Toys R Us and just buy everything I saw. But apparently, I'm going to have to outdo myself every year. So, she was way more interested in the wrapping paper than the gifts this year. So we did a little small. We got her a couple of little things. Her favorite thing she got was a rattle, big time. So, but anyway, yeah.
Christmas and Grandma says Christmas.
It was fun. She's really cute and she's a lot of fun. So, but next year we're probably going to have to put a barricade around the tree because she's going to go for it. I can tell.
I bet.
Her legs she might not walk yet, but those legs are moving. She's ready to go for it.
So what's the youngest you can take them on a cruise?
I wouldn't take a baby on a cruise. I just wouldn't. I mean, I joke about, making her platinum by the time she's in kindergarten, but there are too many, the thing is you have to entertain a small child a lot. And if they're not potty trained, they can't get in the pool. I mean, even, this comes up in the group all the time, swim diapers. It doesn't matter. No, swim diapers to me is like, what's the difference? They're still peeing in the swim diaper and it's still in the pool. So, a baby would be too much. Their sleeping habits are off and a lot of people do it and they say they had a great time, but I would love to take her on a cruise when she was a little bit older, when we could actually, interact and have some fun and also have the memory of it. I mean, little babies, they're not even going to remember the cruise they went on. So for me, I'm going to wait till she's a little older. Maybe we'll take her on the Diva cruise with us. But I'll need a nanny if anybody's interested because, Lolly's got to have some cocktails. From 8 o'clock on, I'm off duty, so.
Yeah. No, that's okay. I mean, you mentioned about babies peeing the pool. I'm sure some of the old people do it as well.
I've seen a few young people that sat in the pool for 5 hours straight drinking. You can't tell me they didn't, come on now. That's why I pretty much just stick my feet in there and we're good to go. So, but that's why they're so overly chlorinated, like the hot tubs. It's like, oh my God, the chlorine. Well, there's a reason for that, people.
I don't know which is worse, though, girl. Someone peeing in the pool, or you sticking your hooves in there?
Hooves? You don't want to have to do this show all by yourself, now, do you, Bird? I can sign off at any moment, leave you hanging. We'll see what happens.
Back to the matter at hand. You got a few tips for first-time cruisers.
Not necessarily tips. What we came up with this week was what not to do. So, your first cruise, even your first couple of cruises, there's a lot of mistakes that a new cruiser might make, things that will make their vacation even more stressful than it was to begin with. There's so much information. What do I pack? Do I need a passport? How do I do this? What's the best hotel? I mean, there's so much to deal with. And there's some things that you could avoid to make your cruise less stressful. So we came up with some notes, not a list. God forbid I make a list.
No list.
But
you are not Santa Claus.
Bird said 5 things. I think I came up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 things because 7 is my lucky number. So we can't stop at 5. So we came up with 7 things that I would advise a new cruiser not to do. First of all, try not to overpack. I know this may seem strange coming from me because I am not a light packer, but even myself over the years, I've come to realize you don't need 7 outfits for one day. It's a sea day. I mean, not everybody hangs out by the pool, but there's going to be a lot of times when you spent the whole afternoon at the pool. The only outfit you needed for the whole day was your bathing suit and a cover up. So just be mindful of that. Another tip I would say, like your shoes, like, and again, I have a carry-on full of shoes, but if you have some shoe, try to coordinate your shoes to match more than just one outfit so that you can pack less shoes. Like I said, I'm an overpacker. I do it, but the first couple of cruises I went on, it was ridiculous. I mean, okay, I'm going to need an outfit for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and blah, blah. No, I didn't need that.
Really?
All I needed was a swimsuit for the first half of the
For
day,
breakfast,
and
lunch,
then
and dinner,
something to wear
just a
to dinner.
swimsuit?
And a
Wow.
cover up, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
But I mean,
Gotcha,
I
gotcha.
spent the whole day by the pool. Why do I need 4 outfits for day one
Yeah.
whenever the majority of the time I spent at the pool? So,
Now, hang on, just one point on that, Shelley. One thing that we found
I
when we
have a
went on our
feeling this is
cruise.
going to be. Do what?
No.
Go ahead,
Look at
Bird.
me. No,
What's your
look at me.
question?
I got my wine. I got mine. Um,
What's your question?
I was going to say when we went on our cruise, we didn't overpack, but we did find out we went through a lot of like t-shirts because you're going when you're out there, you're sweating, and then you get the sweat stains on you, especially if it's a dark shirt. And then you go inside and it dries, and then you got those salty things, so you want to throw that out. And the last thing you want to do is put that on. I mean, so we actually went through way more t-shirts than we thought. Not so much
Well,
anything
and
else, but definitely
like when we
t-shirts.
go on the Diva cruises, we have a shirt that we all board with, a t-shirt. We have a t-shirt that we wear for Shot Fest. I mean, you can basically pack your Diva cruise in a carry-on because we have 3 or 4 t-shirts that we wear for these little events that we do. I'm just saying that you don't need, an outfit for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and by the pool, and to walk around the ship. Most likely, you're going to only need, maybe one outfit and then your outfit for dinner and then your bathing suit. So just be mindful when you're packing not to go crazy. Whatever you packed, you could probably take a third of that out and you won't need it. And then you just have to come
Does that
home and you're
include the
like, I can't.
alcohol?
You don't pack alcohol, Bird. You can't take alcohol in your suitcase.
No, you can. You have to bring it. You have to bring it on carry-on, don't you? You can't pack it.
Your wine, you can put your
Yeah.
wine in your carry-on, but that's 1 bottle per person, so it only takes up a little bit of space. So, the next thing that I would advise a new cruiser not to do would booking your flight to the cruise or after the cruise too early. Okay, so you already have all the stresses of your cruise. You will most likely be off the ship by 10:30, 11. I would not recommend booking a flight home before noon. Yes, it can be done, and people are going to comment down here. They're going to say, well, I did it. I booked, my flight at 12:30. I was fine. I know it happens, and people do it all the time, but weather, traffic, let's say your ship for some unforeseen reason had a delay getting back to your port. The stress of like, oh, we're going to miss our flight. I just think it's better to book your flight home a little bit later in the afternoon, even if you have to sit at the airport for a little while. Most airports have bars, so you're good to go. Just book it for a little bit later so that you have the opportunity to not be stressed out getting off the ship, because you never know. The first Diva cruise, Galveston is notorious for sea fog. We hovered around out in the bay until almost noon because the ship couldn't dock. They couldn't see. So those that had flights for 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock, they missed them because that, Mother Nature, you never know what she's going to throw at you. So it would be my advice to not book your flight home too early. And that also applies to coming for your cruise. I know that it would involve a hotel room and maybe a little extra expense, but for me, when I go on a cruise now, when I cruise out of Galveston, I'm only 30 minutes from the port, so driving down there is no problem. If I had to fly to Galveston, I wouldn't do it on the same day. You know,
Yeah.
I know people do it all the time, but me personally, what if your flight was delayed? What if
Hmm.
it will Houston traffic is a nightmare. And what if the ship's leaving at 4:30? What if your flight was set to get here at 2 o'clock? What if it took you 2 hours to get to Galveston from Hobby Airport? It can't happen because the traffic around here is insane.
Not to mention,
So,
I guess, if you're also at a port, if you're going to a place that you haven't been to before, treat that as part of your vacation. Adding the cost of a hotel room can be as little as $30 a night for the whole room, and you get a whole extra day's vacation to explore that area. That's
well,
what we
I
did when
wouldn't
we went
say
to New Orleans. We went in the day
right.
before, and then we actually explored, and it was great because then you go back to your hotel room,
Did a
you
little
wake up
Bourbon
rested,
Street, had a little
you can wake
fun.
up.
Exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
And Galveston has a lot of fun stuff. We don't have the most beautiful water in the Gulf of Mexico. We don't have the most beautiful beaches, but Galveston is a fun, historical. There's plenty of places to eat, drink, have fun. I don't know if you'd want to get a $30 hotel room in Galveston, but if there's a hotel in Galveston called Guido's Seaside Inn. A lot of our divas
Mm.
stay there for the Diva Cruise. It's $99 a night. Free parking. If you drove in, you can leave your car there for the week or for the 4 days that you're on your Diva Cruise, or even if you go on a 7-day cruise. Lots of the hotel down there offer either free parking and a free shuttle to the cruise, or at least the free parking where you can leave your vehicle there. So just to minimize the stress of your vacation, get you a hotel room for the night, come in a day early, enjoy the sights, do a little shopping, do some sightseeing, go eat some good seafood. Yeah, I think it's so stressful to come in the day of your cruise, especially if a flight, because you
Mm.
never know what could happen with weather, flight delays. I mean, it can go on and on.
And then you're going
So
on to
let's
the
move on.
cruise. You're going on to the cruise all stressed, which is not a great way to start a vacation.
Right. You don't want to start out your vacation freaking out, and
Hmm.
if you were there the day before, there's no way you're going to have to worry, because even if you stay on the seawall in Galveston, you're only 5 minutes away from where the cruise
Yeah.
terminal is.
Joyce
So
says it was
you're
so
going to make
stressful
it,
for
even
our
if you had
first
to ride a
cruise.
bicycle.
Yeah, Joyce says it was so stressful for our first cruise. We landed at 2 p.m. and rushed to the Miami port. Was so rushed and we'd never do it again. Yeah. Not a way to start a
Exactly. I
vacation.
mean, the most of the ships leave about 4:30. I mean, you never know, traffic, mother nature, whatever. There's so many variables involved, and
Hmm.
I just don't want to when I normally cruise out of Galveston, but we've been on a few cruises out of Miami. I always go the day before. Get a hotel room. There's lots of hotels to choose from. You can go from super cheap to expensive. There's plenty of
Hmm.
places to stay. And like going to Miami, it's fun. There's all kinds of fun stuff to do in Miami the night
Actually, there's
before.
not
It
just
just
hotel
adds to your
rooms. There's
vacation.
Airbnb. Airbnb is a good alternative as well.
Ah, I have an Airbnb, Bird. Did you know that?
Me? Did I know that? No, Shelley.
I
Tell us
have an
more.
Airbnb. I do. Free plug, free advertisement. I do. I am an Airbnb host here in League City, Texas is where I live. I'm 30 minutes from Galveston. In fact, it's funny that you mentioned that. I got a couple of cruisers up in my guest bedroom right now. They're leaving tomorrow on the breeze for
Oh,
their New
awesome.
Year's Eve cruise. So
There
I
you
have an
go.
Airbnb right here. A lot of people, especially if you fly in, you're coming from out of town, they like to stay in Galveston the night before. They're that much closer. But the guests that I have staying with us tonight, they're from San Antonio. They want a cheap place to stay, clean. I give them coffee in the morning and some pastries and free bottled water in the mini fridge. So, you know,
No wine?
50
What's wrong
bucks
with
a
you,
night,
girl?
you're good
What's
to
wrong with you?
go. So,
What's
but
next on our
but yeah.
list? I mean, your
Okay,
notes.
so in my notes, we have no lists here. The next one was okay. So your fun times. A lot of people don't realize what they are. They see this little fun times paper. The cabin steward left it for them the night before. They toss it in the drawer, whatever. They don't look it over. Every single activity that is going on and hosted by your ship is going to be listed in your fun times paper every single day. It opens up, and on the side there's a condensed perforated version of that you can take right out. You can put it in your pocket, put it in your beach bag, whatever. There are so many fun things to do. There's all kinds of events going on. I mean, there's board games, there's the hairy chess contest, there's karaoke, there's bingo, I mean, anything you could think of. There's opportunities to win a ship on a stick, competitions, some mixology. If you don't look at your fun times, you don't know what your ship has to offer. And a lot of new cruisers, they go on a cruise and they either stumbled upon something or they just didn't even know it was happening. The ship will entertain you 24/7 if you let them. And all you got to do is look at your little fun times paper, the itinerary all day long, the love and marriage show, whatever they got going on, the big show at night, what's going on in the disco, the comedy showcase time, or the comedy club times. It's all right there in your fun times.
Plus,
Take advantage of that.
there's usually
If you
so
don't
much
look
to
at
do
it,
on
you
the
won't
ship.
know.
There's
Right.
often like several things to do in the same time, and you've actually got to pick. Also,
Right, you got to say, "Oh, do I want to go to the hairy chess contest, or do I want to go to the bingo that they've got going on? Do I want to go see this little Matt with the free champagne? He loves the art. They have the big art gallery thing where you get all you got to do is look at the art and you get free champagne the whole time you're there. It's free booze. So take
you've definitely got
advantage of
to
your fun
look at all the
times.
different things and step out of your comfort zone. For example, Shelley always enters the hairy chess contest and wins like 50% of the time.
That's it. I'm out. I have hooves and a hairy chest. You got this show on your own, Bird? Okay, I'm leaving.
No.
Oh my God. A bottle of wine and this man has gone off the hook here. Oh my Lord. Moving on. Okay, so another thing that cruisers don't realize, a lot of times when they book their cruise, they book early saver. Anytime you book 6 months or more in advance with Carnival, you're considered an early saver booking. The advantage to that is if the price of your cruise goes down at any time, you will get that money back. If you have a balance that you still owe for your cruise, they will take it right off your balance. Let's say your cruise went down $200, you owe $500, boom, $200 right off the top. If you paid your balance, and they will give you that money back in onboard credit. This is free money, people. This is you walking on the ship with free money that they're paying for your drinks, they're paying for your steakhouse, whatever you want to use it for. It's on your account and it comes out of there first. I think the most onboard credit I ever got was we booked a cruise about a year in advance on the Magic. I walked on the ship with $400 plus in onboard credit. The first $400 that I spent was on Carnival. But you have to be proactive. You have to go to their site, do a mock booking. Just put in the sail date, the ship that you're going on, check the current prices. Do it every couple of days, because just like the airlines, the prices will fluctuate. Go
Actually,
in there
one
and
good tip
see.
about booking with a travel agent, a lot of travel agents will do that for you. So if you're booking it directly
Exactly.
with Carnival or through PVP, you've got to do it yourself. They are not going to call you and hey,
Right.
the price just went
Yeah, they're
down.
not going
It's
to be,
on you.
hey, the price of your cruise went down. No, they're not going to do that.
No.
But I will say this too. If you do see that the price of your cruise went down, if you booked directly through Carnival, you can submit the price protection claim form yourself. If you
Mhm.
book through a travel agent, your travel agent will do that for you.
Right.
If they're on top of it, like Mayor Beth Kring, my
Mhm.
favorite travel agent and our CCPPF group cruise travel agent, she always looks for price checks every single morning. That's the first thing she does. She looks through the groups, she looks through the group bookings. Are the prices gone down? And we get the onboard credit. Now, if you have a travel agent and the price did go down, your travel agent will have to submit that form for you.
Yeah.
But take advantage of that. People book early saver and they never look at their booking again. I mean, I have seen people post in the group of hundreds of dollars that they've gotten free money. And also, if you happen to not spend that money while you're on your cruise, it's refundable. You'll get a
Mhm.
check from Carnival, or they'll give you
Mhm.
the money if you cash out your card at the end of your cruise.
Right.
So be proactive. If you book an early saver, take advantage of all the perks that come along with that. Look for price drops. If there is one, you'll get it. And it's just free money back to you. The next thing was okay, so a lot of cruisers, all they do, they go to the dining room and they eat dinner, or they go to the Lido buffet and they eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and that's it. There are so many food options. I mean, this is where I would love to have Matt with us because he's a foodie and he knows, we both love all the things.
Mhm.
Go to the Pig and Acre barbecue, go to Guy's Burgers, go to the Mongolian Walk, go to the deli and get a sandwich,
Oh, yeah.
order room service. There's several specialty dining options that'll cost you a little bit of money. You got the steakhouse, you got the seafood shack, you got Gigi's Asian Kitchen, you got the bonsai sushi.
Mhm.
Um, but the price you pay, it's very minimal. The
Don't forget
steakhouse
the
is
little
35
taco place.
bucks. The
The
what?
little on the Carnival ships by the pool, opposite the Guy's Burger, and it's often overlooked. It's a little taco stand, and they make really good.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
include
the
yeah, the
blue
blue iguana.
iguana.
That's it, and
Yeah,
the
blue
breakfast
iguana.
burritos.
Oh,
Oh,
delicious. You don't
yeah.
have to go to the dining room to eat. You don't have, they got the
No.
24 hours a day. They have pizza. Not all ships have this, but there's if you like Indian food, they
Hmm.
have the
Yes.
tandoori grill.
Oh, I would say I went on
Oh,
the yeah the last one that I went on had
was it
that,
on the
and I
Magic?
yes, it was magic, and
Yes.
it was great.
I love Indian food. I love curry. I love
Yeah,
all that. I love all the
yeah.
Indian food.
Actually, it's a
And
really
people,
good. It's a good time to actually try something new. Don't stick with the same old food you used to, because
right,
it's not costing you
exactly.
anything. You go to a restaurant and you want to pay $20, $30 for a plate, and you're afraid you might not like it. I understand that, but
Right.
on the
And in
ship, it
this
doesn't
case, you
matter.
don't like it, spit it out. Go
Well,
try something else. It
preferably
didn't
not.
cost you any more money.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
but the not all the only ship that I've been on so far that had the tandoori grill was the Magic.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. Maybe our viewers can answer that question. Do any of the other ships have that? Because I've been on 15 or 16 cruises now, almost
Hmm.
all day. I've been on a lot of different ships and I've only seen it that one time unless it was hidden. But
Yeah, that's a really good
like
question. If you
like
guys
the
know
pig,
about that, put it in the
yeah,
comments below. Let's
please,
see.
because I want
Tell
I
us
want
which
to
other ship
know.
that it has it on, because yeah, it was
Yeah.
magic and it was
And
really
like
good.
the Pig and Anchor barbecue, I'm from
Hmm.
Texas and we love our barbecue, but it wasn't bad for
Hmm.
a seaside barbecue place,
Yeah.
but a lot of people don't even know it's there because it's outside. It's on the what do they call that? The lanai deck it's
Yeah,
like it's not something that you would happen to pass by unless you actually went
and
outside.
it's not
And if
open
you're
all the
not
time, so people pass by it and it's
right,
closed. They don't
and
even
if
know
you're
what it
not
is.
sure
Yeah.
where something is, ask somebody. They'll
Mhm.
be happy to tell you right where it is. The seafood shack, the lobster rolls. Again, some of these places you have to pay a little extra. The Cucina del Capitano, the Italian restaurant, it's free for lunch. You got to pay for it if you go for dinner, but if you go for lunch, it's free. Don't just, you know, confine yourself to just the dining room or to the buffet. There's so many different things. Order some room service. They have free stuff. They have a few things that you have to pay for, but the chicken fingers are like $2. You can get a pan pizza. You can get hot wings. There's all kinds of things. Don't just limit yourself to going to the dining room or going to the buffet. There's so many things to choose from. So moving on to the next thing. We've only got 2 more things to talk about here. So a lot of people, they don't even know their cabin steward's name. Interact with your wait staff, interact with your servers, interact with your cabin steward, your bartender, your favorite guy at the casino. They're not just your service people. I have become friends with some of these people because I've been on so many cruises. Like, hey, you were my bartender on the Liberty, or hey, you were on the Breeze. They're so willing to help, and just an acknowledgement of fact that you know their name. Introduce yourself. I mean, my cabin steward, I don't look at him like, he's just there for my beck and call. I mean, this is a person that is taking care of everything that I need. When I walk around the corner, if they took the time to know, I don't know how many cabins they're in charge of. If they took the time to remember my name, and everybody says it wrong, always. So, got this guy from India. He's like, hello, Miss Shelley. Thank you. We'll see. Have fun at dinner. I mean, he took the time to know me. Take the time to know them. And your bartenders, they'll hook you up if you take a little bit of time. I was going to
say, you take the time to get to know the person a lot, chat.
Right.
I'm not saying
they're not just there to be your servants. I mean, these are
the
people.
Quality of your if you need anything extra stuff, they'll be more than happy if you just take time to remember who they are.
And I'll say this, even if you don't do that, they will still give you good service. They are not going to only give you good service if you give them an extra tip or if you do this. But no. I think it makes them feel like you look at them like they're they're not just there to serve you, they're a person. And I mean, I've never had anyone on any ship go less than my expectations and go above and beyond what they should do. I've known every one of my cabin stewards. I've called them by name. They've always done everything I've ever needed, whether I gave them an extra tip or not, which I always do, and you should too. Anyway, I'm just saying that's just my opinion. But anyway, the last thing I got on the list is, okay, so I know the portraits, they're not cheap. It's $21.99, I believe, currently for an 8x10. But this is your cruise. I mean, this is the one time I get my husband and my son together in their suits and in their nice outfits and looking sharp. And me, of course, looking fabulous with my hooves and my hairy chest, whatever, bird. But anyway, we're looking fabulous. They take the most beautiful portraits. They have all these different backdrops to choose from. Even if you don't want to spend the money, I mean, there were a couple cruises. It's like, oh my God, I spent $300 on portraits. You don't have to do that. But I would recommend, especially if it's your only cruise maybe that you've been on, and maybe you don't know when you'll go on another one, get that portrait done and get a picture of you and your family, and you can make it fun. We've done silly stuff. We've had a whole group of divas at Shop Fest where the backdrop didn't even cover us all. You can see the lights and the backdrop because there's 40 or 50 of us trying, sitting there, and it's so much fun. Be silly if you want. Be serious if you want. Do whatever you want. But I would recommend at least the photos are beautiful. Some of my best pictures I've ever taken was like, dang, I look good in that picture.
The good thing is
but I'm sure they touch it up a little bit, but right,
so exactly.
And a lot of the ships are converting over to a whole digital thing where they're not even printing them out anymore. You can look at all the photo, go to, if you want to go to 10 backdrops and take 40 different pictures, you
Oh yeah.
can. And then you go and you put your information into the kiosk. It'll pull up all the photos, that the facial recognition on all the photos you've been on.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be like, oh, I like that one and that
Yeah.
one and that one and that one. You have to be careful. It can get expensive. But there a lot of times families don't have the occasion to get a family portrait made, and they're
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. They'll put them on a canvas for you. I mean, it's a little more expensive. They have a lot of options. You can
Yeah.
have it made on this beautiful canvas and hang it over your fireplace. And I haven't ever done that because I don't want to
Talking
spend that
about
much
that,
money.
there's another little tip that I can give people talking about photos. Do you realize that, again, if it's something special, I wouldn't do this just if you're just going on the ship generally, but if it was a special occasion, an anniversary, a wedding, something, a gathering, there is actually a professional photographer there you can book with them. And again, it doesn't cost
Yes.
anything. And they will go around the
Oh,
ship with you and take a
yeah.
whole bunch of pictures, and you can look through and again just choose
I have
those, and they'll
seen,
make them into a beautiful
yes.
book for you.
Some
A
of
lot of
the
people don't know
wedding
that.
photos that I've
Hmm.
seen have just been breathtaking, with the sunset and the beautiful
Hmm.
blue water out behind you, or you got the whale tail behind you. I mean, there's been
Yeah.
some beautiful photos posted on the CCPPF with pictures of people
Hmm.
doing that very thing. So,
Exactly.
um,
That's one thing a lot of people don't realize to do. You just go
right,
down to the photo place and you can book. A lot of times I see the photographer who is usually like one of their top photographers sitting around because he doesn't have anything to do. So why not
right.
use it?
Go have
You
them
don't,
follow
you
you around
again,
and take some beautiful photos. Exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
There was one, it was great. Patti Brauer, our t-shirt designer, she had one, the photographer, he was a deck above them and did a shot down on him. And he had them all laying on the ground in a circle with all their like heads touching, and they all had these bright outfits on. They look like a kaleidoscope. It was such a cool picture. They have lots of ideas. They have little poses and things that you wouldn't have thought of to do. So especially if it's maybe your first cruise and maybe your only cruise, go buy at least one portrait, and you in your elegant night outfit, or you with your family. I mean, it's a keepsake that you'll want to keep forever, and put in a frame and have it in your house. So I would recommend doing it for sure.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely.
Make the most of your cruise. I've been blessed to have gone on many, many cruises so far, but some people only get to do it one time,
Hmm.
maybe a couple of times. Hopefully, some of these don't do uh, tips and advice that we give them what will help make your cruise even more amazing and even more enjoyable and way less stressful. So
We hope
that
so.
those are my notes. That's the end of my notes. We're
Yay! She's
blank
got a
from
nose.
here. Where's
So,
Matt? Matt, where are you?
no Matt. So anyway, Chali and everybody following us in the chat rooms. Let's take a look forward to 2018.
Wait,
Do you
wait,
have any
wait.
cruises? Oh,
Did
your note.
somebody tell us where there was another tandoori grill?
No, actually
Answers.
nobody did. I've been watching while we were
I think
talking.
Magic's
Nobody.
the only one that has it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to research that now and find
You need
out.
me some Indian food.
I know. It's
It's
really good. So if you
delicious.
ever, so if you're on the Magic, definitely go check that out. It's at the
Hmm.
back, isn't it? By the back
It's by
pool
the
at the
pool.
back, yeah,
Yeah, it's like a
near the
little
pizza.
buffet, so you can try
Yeah,
this and try
opposite to
that
the
and have a
pizza
little
place.
taste.
Yeah. By the way,
Yes,
the pizza
definitely.
is
Sorry,
always
didn't mean to
better at
interrupt.
3 a.m. Pizza's always better at
Ooh,
3 a.m.
well, I don't think it's open at 3 a.m., but
I think it's open.
I think they're only
No,
like
no,
a
no.
lunchtime thing, right? No?
Pizza. No, I'm talking about pizza. The
Oh,
pizza
I was
is
gonna say the
up
tandoori
till
grill. I
3
don't
a.m.
think they're open at
Yeah.
3 o'clock in the morning.
I
They're
think
like,
the
give me some
reason
Indian food.
well,
I'm
yeah,
drunk.
unfortunately, yeah. That I believe was open for dinner one time because I decided to eat there instead of the main dining room.
Oh, maybe
So
they do have like a
yeah,
lunch and dinner
they
thing
do,
going
yeah,
on. Yeah,
but they do
but it is
close in
it
between. Yeah, so it's one of
right,
those things you got to catch you. So anyway, guys,
right.
did the breeze not
Happy
have
New
it?
Year,
Diana
Merry
says,
Christmas.
did the breeze not have it? I don't know. You need to tell us because I
It
guess we
doesn't.
only know
I've
the
been on the
Magic.
breeze. I've been
Okay,
on
so
the
it
breeze.
doesn't.
It's not on there. We sailed on the breeze out of Galveston for a
Gotcha.
group cruise. What group cruise was that? 3, 5, I don't remember, but I've been on the Breeze, and no, they don't have one.
Okay.
I would have found it.
It hasn't been into
I
dry
can
dock
smell
since
the
then.
curry.
So it hasn't been into dry dock since then. So they might have added it once it was in dry dock.
Well,
You
I
never
don't
know.
know. Maybe it could be something that they have now. When we went on there, they didn't have one. I would have smelled the curry. It would have led me to the Indian food.
Yeah.
So
I want to post
good.
this. Somebody just posted in the chat room, and Shelley, what do you want to answer this? How's the weather going to be in the Bahamas in February? Anybody know what kind of clothes do I need? First time cruiser. Donna, welcome to the group, and you'll find a lot of good information. And let's answer your question, Shelley. What kind of clothes for Bahamas?
It's touch and go. Even when I was in Half Moon Cay in the middle of the summer, that water is chilly. I mean, even we were there in July. We went to Half Moon Cay in the Bahamas, and the water there is chilly, even in the summer. It's touch and go. Of course, we're talking about the Caribbean. Of course, their year-round temperature is, anywhere 75 to 150,000 degrees, depending on when you go. But I mean, it doesn't ever really get really cold in the Caribbean. But when we went to Cozumel on that Diva cruise I was talking about earlier in February, it was windy. It was only about 68, 70 degrees, and there was no way I was going to get in that water. It was beautiful and sunny outside, but it was the wind, and they were having a cold front of their own, so they do experience cool weather. Now, did they get down to 30 degrees? No. But it's not easy to get in that water, and then you get out of the water and the wind's blowing at 68 to 70 degrees outside. It's chilly.
And remember, the pools on the ship are not heated. Now, remember, I would say definitely take like a windbreaker type jacket, something light, and maybe one not super heavy winter coat, because you're not going to need that. But at night, this is a difference in the tropics and living in Florida. We experience this. During the day, it's still nice and hot. But what tends to happen in January, February, the evening and the nights get colder, which is why the water temperature,
and especially
drop.
on the ship, because they got the AC cranking. So you're in the, you're at the comedy club or you're at a show and you're like, ooh, I wish I had a little sweater, just a light sweater to put on. You're not going to freeze in the Bahamas. I mean, you're not going to need a parka or anything like that. But February, I was really, like I said, we left out of Galveston. It was 38 degrees and it was cold. And it did not warm up until we got to Cozumel. But even when we got to Cozumel, it was warm. As long as you were out of the water and you were sitting in the sun, it was very beautiful outside. It was like a spring day, but there was no way I was getting in that water. It was cold. I mean, the wind blowing, I mean, even though the sun was out. So what I would do, download like your WeatherBug app and put in where your destination in there and see what the temperatures are going to be like when you're on your cruise, and just see what it's going to be like. But I did experience some pretty cool. The Bahamas, we were there in July and we went running into the water. Woohoo! And I'm like, woo, that's cold. I mean, it's like 150 degrees out in the sun on the beach. And then you step into the water and it was cold. Not cold. I'm not talking like hypothermia cold. I'm just saying, I've gone to Cozumel in the summer and it was almost like being in a swimming pool. It was no big deal, but I was like a little surprised how cool the water was in the Bahamas. And we were there in July. So, I haven't been in February.
We actually got a answer to the question we were asking. Christopher has given us this information. Apparently it is on the Breeze, the Dream, the Magic, and the Splendor. So it must have gone into like a dry dock maybe and added them.
I have been on all of those ships except the Splendor, and the only one that I ever saw it on was the Magic. So awesome. It looks like when they went into dry dock and did some upgrades, maybe they added it. That when I went on the Dream, I didn't see it. Now that doesn't mean I didn't have a few cocktails and I just didn't realize it was there. I'm not saying that.
Because like you said, there's a lot of food to be on there.
Right. I haven't been on the Splendor. But definitely
the Magic. For that information.
Well, awesome with the Breeze, because the Breeze is down here in Galveston. Or wait. Yes. at least for now. I think she's leaving soon, and we're going to get the Vista. But
So
when I was on the Breeze again, I didn't see it. But
yeah, we know, Shelley, we know. So
maybe I
anyway,
was sitting in my room with a
let's look
pizza
forward
from.
to 2018. Do you have any cruises booked? What about everybody watching? Do you guys have any cruises booked? Tell us if you've got a cruise booked in 2018 already. Type it in the chat right now, and
Is this a
I want to see.
rhetorical question?
Well,
Of
okay,
course,
maybe
I
for
have
you it
cruises
is.
booked.
Of course you do.
We got the CCPPF Divas Cruise in April that we go on every year, and we got the CCPPF 5th annual. Is it the 5th? Yes, the 5th annual group cruise on the Vista out of Galveston, Halloween. It is amazing to go with this group in Halloween. Everybody dresses up. Everybody has a great time. So yes, I have 2 cruises coming up in 2018. I can't wait. I'm super stoked.
Yay! Yeah, Crystal says I'm going on the Magic in January 2018. Jerry has
Love the
the
Magic. Good ship.
Glory in June. Glory, that's interesting. Actually, Charisse also asks, Shelley, what is your favorite class of ship?
Well, my
That's a
favorite
good one.
ship, my favorite ship of all time, and I've been on 15 or 16 cruises now, I lose count. But my favorite ship of all time is the Carnival Liberty. She's not the biggest, she's not the newest, but to me, she is the most beautiful ship that they have. They have the most amazing, the decor of the ship is what I'm talking about. And it's not one of the old small ones. I believe the Liberty is the Conquest class with the Triumph, the Liberty, the Conquest. I'm not sure. There's other ones. But they on the Liberty, they have these gigantic wrought iron chandeliers all over the ship, and with these little beautiful frosted tear-shaped bulbs over that change color about every 2 seconds. They go from red to blue to green to yellow to orange. That ship to me, I know it's gaudy, I know it's all colorful and all that, but I love the Liberty. She's my favorite ship. I've been on the Breeze. I've been on the Vista. And y'all heard my review of the Vista. She wasn't my favorite so far. She might be the newest, but she's not my favorite. I've been on the Magic. I've been on Freedom. I've been on, way back in the day, I was on the Tropical. I've been on the Conquest. I've been on the Ecstasy. I've been on all these ships. The Liberty, to me, I just love when you walk into the atrium, the chandelier in the atrium with the color changing bulbs and the wrought iron, it's beautiful. I got a picture of it. I can't post it right now. I should have given you a picture of it had I known this question would be
Exactly,
asked.
yeah.
But that's my favorite. The Liberty is still my favorite. Even after the Vista, the Breeze, the Magic, the Dream, all of those. She's still my favorite. I love her.
It's funny because a lot of people
She's
think
my
that
diva. She's beautiful.
Yeah, a lot of people think that the newest ships are always naturally the best, and they usually they're always bringing out bigger and bigger ships. They never really make a small ship. They're always trying to one up each other in the cruise industry and bring out the bigger ones. But unless you're really into doing a lot of stuff like going to Disney where there's everything, if you want to actually relax on a cruise, a lot of the smaller ones are actually better because they don't have as much going on. So you've got more time to relax, but the staff and the crew on board tend to make up for that because they give over and above service because they realize they're not the newest ship. They don't have all the bells and whistles on there, so they make it up in the quality of the
I'm a
crew and the
Carnival
service.
cheerleader, obviously. I have a cruise group that has almost 145,000 members, so I'm not trying to dog any Carnival, but Group Cruise 4, this last one we have, it was on the Vista, and they did a lot of things different. I don't know if it was that show or the one before it, but I did my review of the Vista. It's a beautiful ship. It's a great ship, and I am by no means complaining about my cruise. But there were things about that ship that I feel like they changed and they did differently that I didn't like. I just didn't. I'd go on the Liberty again before I went on the Vista. I would. I'd go. Even the Magic still had the same carnival feel that most of the ships have, and Vista didn't do it for me. I'm hoping that the Horizon, I'm hoping maybe Group Cruise 6 will be, maybe we'll look at the Horizon for that itinerary, but I just, it might be the newest, but in my opinion, it wasn't the best. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't like change, Bird.
Richard asks
maybe
an
I'm an
interesting
old
question.
grandma and I'm all set in
Yeah,
my
you are the
ways
old
now.
grandma. Yeah. Richard asks, how many times
With hooves.
have you been on Royal Caribbean ships? Now, I'll answer that one first because I have actually been on quite a few.
Right,
you have
have.
not. Yeah, I've actually ended up going on the Oasis twice. It was the equivalent to the Triumph. I can't remember. I don't think it was Empress. So it wasn't that small, but I've been on several of them. I actually, on our website, I did not a review because everybody does reviews of which is better, and I refused to do that. I pointed out, again, from a new cruiser, what the differences that I noticed were about the style that each cruise line went into. So if you want to look that up, it's on CruiseWeek.tv right down there. And
honestly, I mean, like when I saw when you were doing all the live shots when you were on one of your Royal Caribbean, it looked amazing, but at the same time, it looked like a giant mall to me. Like it was just like a food court, like with a mall and everything. And I was just like, I don't know if that's necessarily what I'm going for a
you're
cruise.
talking about Oasis of the Sea. One of the biggest things that I found between the two cruise lines, and now people are going to get into this. Oh, Majesty of the Seas, says Ward. Thank you, Ward. That was right. Majesty of the Seas was the other one. Anyway, Royal is equivalent to going on Royal is like going to Disney World. There's a lot on the bigger ships. There's a lot more to do. They've definitely got a lot more activities, but you're kind of left to your own devices on where to go and what to do. It's like going to Disney. There's the attractions, but you're not pulled into anything.
Like a personal, more of a personal
exactly.
feel
It's
to
just
it.
like you wander around and decide what you want to do.
I have a question.
Hang on, let me explain. Carnival is more like they pull you in. It's like a giant party, and if you're sitting off to the sideline,
like
they want you to join in. Yeah, but more like a party where everyone wants to get you involved and the dancing on the Lido and all that sort of stuff. So it's much more interactive. So again, I'm not saying one is better than another because they're not. You've got to look at what style of cruising and what you really actually want for a vacation. And you've got to be honest with yourself. Don't say, oh, I want to do everything. And then you're going around going, oh, well, I mean, we kind of don't know anyone and stuff like that.
I didn't check my fun times. I don't know what time the contest is.
Well,
my question would be this. Yeah. So what I've noticed about the Carnival cruises is like the cruise directors, they're very personable. Like I've made friends and become friends with almost every cruise director that I've sailed with on Carnival. I never hear about any Royal Caribbean, like the cruise, like, have we even had one on the show as a host? I mean, how interactive are they with, I feel like when I go on a Carnival cruise, I almost feel like it's kind of a family thing. Like people are like you, like, hey, I remember you and that sort of thing. But
I would definitely say that Carnival does push their cruise directors to be at the face of the ship and be everywhere at all times. If you look at our behind the scenes videos that we've done on Carnival ships, we've talked to cruise directors and their boss, the entertainment directors, about this very thing. So if you can look on the CruiseWeek.tv site, you'll find all those videos. It's really insightful. Now, the cruise directors on the Oasis class and also a lot of the other Royal Caribbean ships they're there. They do the shows, like the Love and Marriage, the Variations, the game show, stuff like that. The late night one where everybody gets crazy. I can't remember the name. Yeah, the Quest.
Dwayne,
same
you
one
had panties on your head.
But they do that. But yeah, outside of that, you don't really see them much. So yeah, they're not everywhere, and they're not usually on the Lido deck, pulling people into a dance. It is very much a different feel and that. Now,
not necessarily bad, just different.
No, not bad at all.
Just different. A different thing, just a different deal.
Yeah, And in fact, I talked to Tim, who was the cruise director on Oasis when I was on there. We sat down and did an interview. That was a very good one. Talked to him at length about his duties, and I've talked to many, many cruise directors on the Carnival side, all those videos. So you actually can get to watch those, watch a Carnival one and watch a Royal Caribbean, and you get to see the differences. Dolores said that on Carnival once and never saw the cruise director. Sorry, on Royal Caribbean and never saw a cruise director. Yeah, that can happen if you don't go to the shows or stuff. If you do go to the shows, you'll see them. You might see them and not even realize who they are as well.
I mean, it's probably because when I'm on a cruise, it's usually with a big group of people that we're doing one of the annual cruises or the Diva Cruise. But every cruise director that has ever hosted one of the CCPBF annual cruises or the Diva Cruises, they've always made themselves very available to me. A bag full of ships on a stick and medals and everything else. They actually, like, even Frankie the Tank, he's been one of your guests. You know, when the Divas, when we raised over $1,000 to donate to St. Jude's, he came to the lounge. He wanted to be a part of it. He wanted to present the check with us. I mean, it just seemed really personable that they wanted to be a part of what we were doing.
Yeah.
And I love Frankie.
Now, don't forget, and now the Royal Caribbean cruise directors will do the same thing, but you have to go out and hunt them down. So that's what I'm saying. I love them all. I mean, I've talked to, like I said, I have talked to a lot of the crew. I absolutely love going onto a ship and finding out. I'm an inquisitive person.
No matter what your ship on, you're going to have fun. No matter what line, no matter what cruise.
Correct. Yeah,
you're going to have a good time.
Diana says it good. Every cruise line is different, and that's true. Everyone positions themselves. They're not going to copy each other. They're going to position themselves for different stuff. Like a Disney cruise is not going to be the same as a Carnival cruise or a Royal Caribbean or NCL cruise. It's going
to cost you an arm and a leg to go on a Disney cruise.
Have you been on a Disney cruise?
I haven't, but I've looked at the prices and good grief.
Prices, yes, the prices are definitely steep.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not wonderful, but I'm just saying I can't afford it.
Yeah. Well, you can normally do like 3 Carnival cruises for the price of 1 Disney. So, but if you've got kids, I think that will be absolutely amazing to do the Disney because they are wonderful with kids. I think if you don't have kids going on a Disney cruise, it's just like, well, I think you're going to waste a lot because
it just depends on how much you love Mickey, I guess.
Exactly. So anyway, guys, Shelley, of course, you have cruises in 2018. I did ask at the beginning of the show, what do you guys want to see in 2018? Obviously, all the cruise lines are adding more ships. None of them are taking them away. So there's going to be more ships going out to more different places. Do you want to see more of the shorter cruises? Do you want to see more like longer cruises stretching out?
I want to see Galveston have more itineraries. Good grief. How many times can I do this? I mean, at this point, I only go on the cruises to be with my friends, but we have the same 3 itineraries for the week-long cruises. Are we ever going to have anything else other than that? Because, you know, I mean, Galveston's my home port, so it's easy for me to get down there, but we have Jamaica, Grand Cayman, and Cozumel, Belize, Honduras, and Cozumel, and then Freeport, Nassau, and Cozumel. And then you have the 3 and 4, the 4 and 5 day cruises that go to Cozumel and Progresso, and that's it.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, how many times can I do this same itinerary? If it wasn't for the people that I go with them on, I would have been like, come on, why can't? Apparently, getting through the Gulf of Mexico takes a long time.
Exactly. So they would have to do longer journeys.
Right. It would have to be 8 to 10 cruises like that. So the week-long cruises, that's it.
Do that while they're working because a lot of people will only get a week's vacation, or maybe some get 2 weeks, but they don't want to spend that whole 2 weeks together.
I mean, I could go to Cozumel a million times and never get tired of it because my man Adrian down in Cozumel. But I mean, you know, how many times can I go to?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just, I mean, the last time I went to Belize, I didn't even get off the ship because I've done everything they have to offer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I want to keep cruising and I love going on them.
yeah, a lot of people don't get off the ship. So that's when the ship becomes more important than the ports. A lot of people have
Well, for
said
me,
that in
it's
live
not the
talks.
ship or the ports, it's the people.
Hmm.
Because, but like I said, at this point, the cruises that I go on, I'm accompanied by at least a bare minimum of 80 of my closest cruising
Well,
friends.
that's only
So
because you
for
get them
me,
to
it's
bring your
about the
wine with you.
people. No, it's because we
Yeah,
love each other and we have so
bring the
much
wine.
fun. We make the cruise what it is.
Yeah.
We do. And so I don't care where we're going and I don't care what ship it's on. It's about the people that I get to go and cruise with. But I mean, still,
But
can't we
don't
go to
forget,
Half Moon Cay? Why can we go to Freeport, Nassau, but we
I
can't
would
go to
almost
Half
say
Moon
though,
Cay?
Shelley, you're one of the exceptions. As you say, you go with such a large group of people. You built that up. You have a massive Facebook group. So
Anybody can go on those cruises with us. Anybody that is in the group, any of you divas, any of you Carnival Cruiser, past, present, and future, all you got to do is say, when's the group cruise? You
correct.
are in the
However,
fold.
but not
Come with
everybody wants to
us.
do that if it's on their first cruise. They're trying to figure out, they don't want to
That's true.
be thrust into that.
I don't
It's
know why they
very
wouldn't,
a
because it'd be
first.
the best time of their life.
Yes, but
Anyway.
obviously sometimes it can be very, very overwhelming going on a cruise. Yeah, I remember my first one. I told you I didn't even know about the dining room, so I didn't eat there. So I know,
I know
but
you.
that's a
That was
typical.
funny. You thought the dining room, you had to pay for it. So you're just like, well, I guess I'm going to the buffet.
Okay, but there's a lot of people who do the same thing.
I know.
They see the
But I will say
buffet,
this.
they don't know.
Every time that we have a group cruise, we have a group set up separately just for that group cruise. And any questions that you have or any concerns that you have, we're right there to answer all your questions and let you know things like that in advance. And, I love getting on a cruise ship and being like, hey, I know you from Facebook, from the Facebook group, like, hey,
Yeah.
we know each other. It's like you automatically have a handful of friends to go eat with, drink with, party with, go to the
Oh yeah.
shows with. There's always somebody there with you to go and do fun stuff with you. So, join one of the roll calls that we have, and any of those questions that you have will be answered, and you'll feel
Oh
like
yeah.
you're just part of the family.
Yeah. Thomas says, I wish I had lower singles prices. I hate paying doubled. I do
know.
understand. One thing I do wish that they would do is if you are doing single, I wish they'd give you the double points towards the
Right.
the cost.
Oh, yeah.
Now I
Exactly.
know on the Royal Caribbean, if you're in a suite, you do get double points, but I don't think you get double
Yeah, but how
points
much
if
did you
you're
pay for the
single.
suite?
When we were on a suite, it
A
was
lot.
really good. The first time I went on Oasis in the suite, it was weird because it was only like $200 difference for the 7 days. It wasn't a lot. I don't know whether they were having a hard time getting rid of that particular suite or what. That's another good thing on the big ships. You have a lot more options.
I think
in
at the
cabin
very
size.
least they should offer some sort of discount, like maybe not full price, and not just for one, but at least give the solo cruiser a discount if they don't have a second occupant for the
You
cruise.
get a little bit of a discount, as in you don't pay the port fees and the taxes on that second person. So
Yeah,
that's
but
not
that's
bad. But I can
that's not
understand
even
from
a
their point
dent.
of view. They're there to try and make sure that ship is full. And if you had a whole bunch of people buying single cabins, imagine, worst case scenario, the ship is full of single people, and all of a sudden they've got half the income coming in. So I can understand
But in all reality, that would probably never happen because most people are not going to go. You have your solo cruisers. That's a minority. There aren't that many people doing solo cruises as opposed to families, couples. Most likely every cabin you get is most likely going to have at least 2 people in it. But that's what I'm saying. They should offer them something, a little something, maybe some, free something, half price cheers, something, just give them a little break on something.
Yeah,
I think
true.
would be good.
Anyway, we have been chatting and it has gone 9 o'clock, so we need to move the show along. Otherwise, we're going to have the longest show ever, and Matt's not even going to be
Bird,
here.
you can just keep talking and talking and then talking. Wrap it up already, would you?
It was more trying to get a word in edgeways. Love you, girl. Anyway.
I never said I was short-winded.
That's true. Anyway, just want to tell you guys about vMix. Now, as you've seen our shows progress throughout the year and get better and better, it's not just my amazing ability or Matt's. We also use vMix, which is an incredible production system. Now, the thing I liked about vMix when I got it was that they give you a 60-day unlimited trial. Nothing is watermarked, nothing is blocked out. So you really get to experience and try and use the system, and it's very intuitive and very, very stable. So they're used for very high-end productions from, of course, CruiseWeekTV to church services, football games, big shows. You'll be surprised what actually runs on vMix. Like I said, the 60-day trial is 2 full months. They've got systems starting from 350 up to 1500, which when you're doing a production, that's very cheap. If you're thinking about doing any sort of serious video systems, you need vMix. Try it down there. Just go check it out. You can download it. It runs on Windows only, but it works great. So check out vMix today. Anyway, Chris is the cruise director on the now I'm going to get it wrong. Is it? I'm gonna butcher it. Is it the Dream or is it the Chris the Flying Scotsman? I believe is the Dream. Anyway, he was heading home for holidays, but before he actually left, he did give us a little peek behind the scenes at the Love and Marriage show on his ship.
Well, hi everyone, this is Chris the Flying Scotsman here on the Carnival Dream, and welcome to another segment from Life of a Cruise Director. Keep tuning in every week to get these little segments, and of course, watch it all live on Cruiseweek TV. Keep watching. So I am literally here today. It's sea day 2. Crazy busy events because it's Christmas cruise. So we've got some big things happening, of course, this week. We've got Let It Snow, which is another great event. Then we've got 'Tis the Season, which I'm going to get lots of footage of the Christmas stuff. But today I'm literally backstage now, getting ready for some Love and Marriage show. We're about to find out who's in here. Watch this. Who's about? Ryan's about. Ryan's here. Hey Ryan, say hi. Hi. Hey. It's pretty dark back here. Look at this. Oh, it's dark. We're literally getting ready for some Love and Marriage. So the audience are all getting ready. But look at this. Look at the big house. It's Love and Marriage and I'm ready to party. And I'm gonna have some fun. You know she got everything. Alright, I'm gonna have a cheeky look outside. That's what I do every night. You don't know, it's really bad, but I like to look at who's in the audience. Oh, it's packed! It is so busy! So, yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The weather isn't too good, so that's why it's probably really cool. Look at this red. It makes me look like an exotic dancer. Wow, house. So, love your faces. Happy holidays. We're getting the Christmas spirit on board. We've got lots of cool stuff happening. So keep watching this week. We are in Montego Bay tomorrow. I've got one of my events tomorrow, Let It Snow, which I'm going to film for you. Then of course it's Scotsman Night, and I've got a handover. My cruise director replacement is here, Brandon Kovshoff. Brandon is amazing. Oh my goodness, that's so red. Brandon is awesome. He is here for the next 10 weeks, and you're going to have a blast if you're cruising with him. He's such a lovely guy. So I'll try and get him on camera for this week, get a little chat with you. 2 cruise directors together, and I'm back. Yeah, keep watching and miss your faces. Brick house. Thanks for watching Life of a Cruise Director, and if you want to see that full vlog series every single week, you can join us here in the subscription. Don't forget to subscribe to Facebook as well, Flying Scotsman CD, and I'll see you soon. Keep watching Cruiseweek TV.
Thanks, Chris, for sending us those every other week, and it's really great to have him on board with us. Now, anyway, I want to talk to you guys about pier runners. Has anyone watched the pier runners? Those are the people that are late back to the ship or don't make it. So check out the pier runners, and those guys are so funny. Basically a person who's late, usually that happens at the main port. So you look at this guy, the ship has to leave on time, otherwise they are going to be fined. If they're not out of the ship in a certain time, they are charged. Once they leave the dock, if they come back, it's like they're coming back another time. So you see these people, the ship will try and wait for a little bit. They will hold on, they will try and get hold of people, try and put calls out, see if there's any family members can get a phone number, reach these people. But a lot of times you see these people running down here, and they're not just late. They're not just running because it's a few minutes late. These people are like 30 minutes. And some of the times they actually miss the ship. Like this one right here. This ship is probably several feet off of the pier. I don't know why they're running at this point. If they realize it's like once this ship leaves the pier, they are not coming back. Once that gangway comes up and the gates are closed and it literally pulls away, if they can make it before that, they will actually put the gangplank down. But once they pull away, that is it. And of course, if you do make it onto the ship, you get the jeers and boos of all the people that are hanging off the side, looking at you, yelling at you. What really infuriates me on some of these videos is you see them ambling down. You know they're late and they're just walking, or they're drunk, they're staggering down and trying to get down to the pier, and it's just not happening. I would not want to be the security people in these because, I would just be going off on them. I mean, look at this group right there. They've missed it's got to be the worst feeling. The ship is like literally within sailing distance, and you're there and you just can't get on. So they're there like, I can see the shit. So it is simple. Do not be late. So that is a really good point. Remember, a lot of times people are late because their cell phones. A lot of times, even if you're not connected, or you have a Wi-Fi plan or stuff like that, once they connect to even the Wi-Fi locally on land, they will change the time to the local time zone. And that can mess a lot of people up. So a really good tip for that is make sure you take a regular watch, not an Apple Watch or a smart one, just a regular wind up or one of those old basic digital ones. Take that and you'll be okay. And make sure you leave a good half hour or so extra to be on the ship. If the ship's sailing at 4:30, be on there by 4. You never know coming back what's going to happen. If you're on a tour, even if it's not now if you're on a tour and you book through the cruise ship and something happens, they will definitely wait for you. However, the independent tour operators know that their reputation and their livelihood rests on making sure that they don't have people late back to the ship. Because if word gets around, it's like, hey, I missed the ship because of XYZ tours, people are not going to book on them. So yeah, always wear a wristwatch and always be on time. So that's about it. If you know of anybody who would enjoy watching the show, interacting in our chat room like you guys have, please share this video with them. Share all our videos. Also go to our website, right down there, CruiseWeek.tv. All the videos for the past year are on there. Not only is it a weekly show that we do, but when we go on ships, and for some reason I've gone on more ships than everybody else, I think apart from Shelley. When I go on the ships, we do a lot of behind-the-scenes videos. We talk to a lot of the crew. We talk to other guests. So we really bring you the look and the feel of the ship from a crew point, from the officer's point, and from the just the other guest's point. So check that out. It's a really good resource for you to look at, and we're adding to it all the time. Now, please share, and don't forget on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CruiseWeek. You'll be able to get a lot of videos there, and you can subscribe and help support us just by subscribing. And of course, thanks to our people in the RC Periscopers chat room, Kathy and Ken Jarvis, you guys have been keeping that going and helping us out in there. So Joe's going to be back next week, and we go back to our usual format with a guest. That'll be, of course, in 2018. God, it makes me feel so old. It's like it's going to be 2018. So join us next Saturday. It's going to be Saturday, 8 p.m. And don't forget, I'll be back with Matt from Midweek Social which is a more relaxed show on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. And we will see you then. Till then, see you guys on the ship.